Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to ask you if you are able to please rise for the Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Hadirin dimohon berdiri untuk menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Terima kasih, hadirin dipersilakan untuk duduk kembali. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Kami ucapkan selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada yang terhormat Ketua Umum PSSI Bapak Erick Thohir. Yang kami hormati Wakil Ketua Umum 1 PSSI Bapak Zainuddin Amali. Wakil Ketua Umum 2 PSSI Ibu Ratu Tisha Destria. Bapak Ibu Komite Eksekutif PSSI. Sekretaris Jenderal PSSI Bapak Yunus Nusi. Technical Director of PSSI Alexander Zwiers. And also it is our great honor to welcome this morning to Jakarta, Indonesia, Kepala Pelatih Tim Nasional Indonesia, John Herdman. Pelatih Performa Fisik, Dr. Cesar Meylan. Serta rekan-rekan tamu undangan dan rekan-rekan media yang berbahagia. Terima kasih kami ucapkan atas kehadirannya dalam acara Press Conference Tim Pelatih Timnas Indonesia. Tepuk tangan yang meriah dong semuanya, terima kasih. Senang sekali rasanya sekali lagi saya Paul Palele yang dapat memandu acara ini sampai dengan siang nanti. Press Conference ini diselenggarakan oleh PSSI sebagai momentum resmi untuk memperkenalkan pelatih baru Tim Nasional Indonesia kepada publik dan media. Dan ini merupakan bentuk komitmen PSSI dalam meningkatkan performa sepak bola nasional serta memperkuat kepercayaan publik terhadap arah dan strategi ke timnas ke depannya. Our next agenda, before we begin, we would like to present to you a highlight video of our new head coach of the Indonesian national team. Beliau adalah pelatih asal Inggris dengan kiprahnya di level internasional. Sosok yang konsisten dengan rekam jejaknya mencakup keberhasilan membawa Kanada kembali ke Piala Dunia FIFA 2022. Kehadirannya menandai babak baru perjalanan sepak bola Indonesia menuju level internasional yang lebih tinggi. Selamat menyaksikan, please enjoy this video.
Concept: cold air, hard ground, quiet work. Before the lights, there are tight spaces. One touch, two touch, eyes up, courage in the details. They called it unconventional. Good, because the game doesn't reward noise. It rewards habits. It rewards standards. And standards don't stay in one place. They travel. They lift people. They change what a team believes is possible. Trust, clarity, chemistry, built on ordinary days for extraordinary nights. Pressure doesn't break the dream. Pressure makes it real. Not by magic, by repetition, by resilience, by unity. The Ring of Fire, born of volcanoes and held by the ocean. Driven by millions of hearts with one burning will. A team with pride and a chapter to write. A new era, one pulse.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is our honor to officially introduce the new head coach of the Indonesian national team. Please welcome John Herdman. Good morning, Coach. Glad to have you with us after a one-day delay. We're glad to see that you are back in your feet, feeling better.
Back on my feet and here in Indonesia.
All right.
Selamat pagi, everybody, today. I'll start by saying I look bigger on TV, so I hope my size isn't underwhelming for everyone here. I'm bigger in spirit. But yeah, it's an exciting journey coming here with my family to see a new culture, a new country, a new football experience. And I have to thank the President, Eric Thohir, for his trust and his vision, the Exco Committee for their support. This is going to be an exciting project, and together we have some big goals. But more importantly, to the people, the fans, when I looked at the Indonesian opportunity, I felt very clear that this group of fans, these people, they deserve to be on the highest stage in world football. I've been looking for a project for a little bit of time now, the right project, and this is it. If you know where I'm from, it's a place called Newcastle. It's a city in the northeast of England which prides itself on hard work, but passion for football. And that's what I feel every time I've seen this Indonesian team play, the Garuda, and the people who support it. So I will bring my passion, I will bring my qualification experience to help bring this country to hopefully a place it's never been before. It's time.
Thank you so much, Coach, for your opening remarks. Tepuk tangan sekali lagi dong untuk Coach Herdman. Beliau membuka dengan sebuah pernyataan, terutama jangan kaget sama postur tubuh yang mungkin kelihatan lebih besar kalau lihat di TV atau sosial media, tapi mengukur dia dari jiwanya yang dia anggap itu sangat besar. Terutama dia sangat semangat untuk bisa datang ke Indonesia bersama keluarganya. Dia sangat semangat untuk bisa datang ke Indonesia bersama keluarganya juga. Dan ini adalah sebuah negara baru untuk beliau dan sebuah kebudayaan baru juga. Dan sebelumnya dia ingin mengucapkan terima kasih untuk Bapak Erick Thohir bersama Exco juga atas dukungannya dan juga kepercayaannya terhadap dia sebagai pelatih kepala baru Timnas Indonesia. Dan yang pasti sudah jelas dari awal ada tujuan dan goal yang cukup besar untuk beliau, dan dia juga melihat negara ini penuh dengan fans sepak bola yang luar biasa, dan hal yang sama di sini di Indonesia juga, dan dia harap passion ini bisa diterapkan di Timnas Indonesia, dan dia juga bisa membawa passion yang sama dan juga pengalaman dia untuk kualifikasi di panggung dunia ke Indonesia juga. Saya akan membuka obrolan ini mungkin dengan 1-2 pertanyaan singkat untuk John, dan setelah ini seperti biasa saya akan kasih beberapa kesempatan untuk rekan-rekan media juga untuk tanya jawab. John, thank you for your opening remarks, and again, welcome to Indonesia. So I'd first like to start off by, you mentioned obviously Concept, a place that is known for passion, but not only as a place where you originated, but your experience have brought you to various parts around the world, New Zealand, obviously Canada. How do you feel that your country of origin, known obviously for football, not only that, but also your experience in other parts of the world can translate here and implemented in the program for Indonesian football?
Yeah, I think firstly, the experience of adapting to different cultures, football cultures, social cultures, it's part of the experience of living, understanding, breathing the culture. So I've traveled with my wife, my daughter, my son. Dr. Meylan have traveled with me to different countries to experience football, but the people. And I think this is a major part of the experience here in Indonesia, to breathe with the fans, to understand what it really means to the people. And I think that's a starting point. You have to feel the fabric of the country. And on feeling it, you understand it. And from understanding it, you can now build the football culture internally in the locker room. You know what to fight for. You know when to fight. You know how to bring the passion of the fans and connect it to the dressing room, to the players. I think that's been a huge part of moving from New Zealand, understanding Maori culture, understanding the gritty Canadian culture, and now coming to Indonesia and understand what the Garuda Membra really is. I think that's going to be a huge part of what it will take to qualify this team for the World Cup in 2030, being ready to really feel what the fans need, and then connect everything together.
Thank you, Coach. Saya terutama menanya karena bukan hanya negeri berasal dia, yaitu Inggris dari Konsep yang terkenal untuk sepak bola, tapi pengalaman dia sudah membawa dia ke New Zealand dan Kanada untuk melatih, dan apa yang bisa diterapkan untuk role dia sebagai pelatih kepala di Indonesia, dan terutama dia ingin lebih mengenali kebudayaan kita, bukan hanya dari sisi sepak bola, sosial juga, karena selama ini dia melatih di negara yang berbeda, itu dia selalu membawa keluarganya juga, dan Dr. Meylan juga untuk terutama mengenali kebudayaan dan fans sepak bola di negara tersebut, karena itu menjadi titik mulai yang tepat untuk dia bisa menyambungi keinginan dan passion dari para fans sepak bola dengan timnasnya sendiri, dan di situ dia bisa lebih menyatui visinya bukan hanya dari fans tapi menyambungi itu sama pemain dan timnya sendiri. Contohnya di New Zealand ada kebudayaan dari Maori. Nah, ini gimana caranya untuk bisa menerapkan kebudayaan tersebut sama timnasnya sendiri. Ataupun dari Kanada, di mana Kanada itu untuk rekan-rekan media yang tahu itu isi dengan banyak orang dari berbagai ras dan negara lain juga. Jadi terutama itu menjadi kunci untuk bisa menyampai tujuan lebih besar lagi, yaitu kualifikasi Piala Dunia 2030. Thank you for your answer, Coach. So again, we talk about different cultures. I'd like to go off that a little bit because, as you know, Indonesian national team is now filled with a mix of diaspora players along with local players that have come up through our system as well. This requires a bit of a balancing act. What's your vision and your plan to be able to combine the two together to create basically one united squad?
I mean, I don't see passports. I see people. I see opportunity. I think that's the most important thing in a culture, is to accept that our diversity will be our biggest strength. And if we choose it to be a weakness, it will be a weakness. But that won't be the choice this group of men will make during this journey. In my time in Canada, we lived in a melting pot of diverse populations, immigrants who came to that country, and with it, in one locker room, Jamaican, South American, European, Serbian, Scottish, English. The most important thing was the clarity of our vision, and the clarity of the vision never faltered. We were collectively responsible to take this jersey, and no different here in Indonesia. We are a privileged group of people that get to wear the Indonesian jersey, to wear that flag. And with that, we have a very short period of time to do something with it. We committed to history, to make history. We committed to leaving legacy for the next generation to believe that we are a football country. And when that clarity is so clear, you create an intent, an intensity that passports do not matter. It's about the brotherhood, the people, and our commitment to a collective vision, which is shared by, speaking to the EXCO and President Tohir, it's shared by the people here in Indonesia. This is what this country wants. It wants to become a global football country. It wants to be seen and respected on the world stage. And the only way you gain that respect is qualifying for a World Cup and winning on the world stage. Every man in that locker room will want that. And it'll be my job to ensure that regardless of your passport, regardless of your heritage, we are here for one reason.
Thank you, Coach. Saya nanya terutama mengenai Timnas Indonesia yang berisi dengan bukan hanya pemain diaspora, tapi juga pemain-pemain lokal yang besarnya dari liga di Indonesia juga, dan gimana caranya untuk bisa menyatui para pemain menjadi satu unit. Dan beliau menyatakan bahwa dia tidak pernah melihat pemain dari paspor yang mereka memiliki, tapi justru gimana caranya untuk bisa menyatui mereka menjadi satu, karena justru perbedaan antara semua pemain itu bisa jadi kekuatan, bukan jadi sebuah kelemahan. Dia menggunakan contoh dari Timnas Kanada, di mana kalau untuk teman-teman yang tahu, Kanada ini justru banyak sekali imigran yang datang dari negara lain, mungkin dari orang tuanya juga, dan Timnas Kanada itu berisi dari berbagai bangsa, dari Jamaika, Amerika Selatan, Eropa, Serbia, Skotlandia, dan Inggris juga. Dan mereka berhasil untuk bisa menyatuin semua kebudayaan itu menjadi satu dan menjadi satu kekuatan juga. Dan ini caranya untuk bisa membuat sebuah komitmen bersama juga untuk membuat sejarah baru dan meninggalkan legasi. Kenapa ini penting? Karena legasi ini yang membuat generasi berikutnya bisa meneruskan.
If you can't balance on one foot for 30 seconds, I beg you to try this. You don't need to train harder. You need 7 minutes that count. Follow this 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for 1 month. In 1 week, you'll feel better. In 2 weeks, you'll look better. In 1 month, your wife won't believe your results. Here's a printable Tai Chi workout plan made for men over 50. These beginner-friendly exercises take just 7 minutes a day. Tai Chi helps men feel lighter, relieve back pain, and wake up with more energy every day. It's more than a workout. It's a game changer for your health and longevity. Get your printable and follow along.
To understand people's experiences of the last World Cup, my own tactical experience of evaluating that 2-year campaign, which, came close, but it fell short. And you have to understand what that gap was. And that's speaking to the captain, creating a leadership group to fully understand what they experienced, how they suffered in moments, how they collectively recovered from the successes and failures of that campaign. And then internally to look at the standards, the high performance systems and structures that underpin the team. These are critical steps. So it's a period of listening, understanding, ensuring that everyone that I need to listen to is heard, and then taking action, taking those steps, being very clear on what will take us to results quickly. And this is an important step. We have an excellent opportunity in March to take our first step together. I've already started communicating with the captain and some of the key leaders. I've contacted over 60 players to let them know that I'm here, I'm watching. And then it's building that team around the team, Dr. Meylan, etc., who will support a raise in standards and bring the qualification habit that Indonesia has been missing. So the work over the last 15, 20 years of my experience has been qualifying teams for Olympic, World Cups. It's about seeing what's missing in that habit and building it. So short term, listen, understand, but get to action. Let's get moving. Let's go.
Awesome, thank you Coach. Dan yang terakhir dari saya menanya mungkin tahap pertamanya apa yang akan diterapkan terlebih dahulu dari Coach Herdman. Terutama dia ingin melakukan assessment, jelas. Tapi ini ada beberapa tahap, yaitu terutama dia ingin mendengar dari timnasnya sendiri dan mengerti apa kebutuhannya. Dari situ dia akan melakukan evaluasi karena jelas Indonesia timnasnya sudah melakukan beberapa langkah yang baik dalam 2 tahun terakhir, sudah dekat tapi tidak sampai tujuannya. Dan disinilah dia sudah ngobrol dengan beberapa pemain, terutama dia udah ngobrol dengan lebih dari 60 pemain dan dia ingin tahu rasanya dari kegagalan kemarin ada sesuatu yang pasti dirasain yang kurang enak. Nah dari situ dia juga ingin mengerti dan membuat pemain juga mengerti apa caranya, gimana caranya untuk bisa tidak mengulangi hal tersebut. Dan yang pasti action yang berikut, apa yang harus dilakukan untuk bisa melewati tahap berikut ini dan menunjukkan hasil. Maret ini yang mendatang akan jadi kesempatan pertama untuk bisa melakukan itu dan ini juga pasti balik lagi ke pengalamannya Coach Herdman dari 15 sampai 20 tahun terakhir. Tugas dia adalah mengambil sebuah program, melihat apa kekurangannya untuk bisa ke tahap kualifikasi, mau itu Olimpiade maupun Piala Dunia. Jadi 3 tahap, mendengar, mengerti, dan aksi berikutnya untuk melakukan itu. Terima kasih. Thank you Coach for our quick chat here. I would like to actually give a chance for some of our media friends to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. So seperti biasa saya akan mungkin mulai dari sebelah kiri. Kalau ada yang ingin menanya, boleh langsung angkat tangannya. Maaf ya ada sedikit spotlight di sini. Mungkin dari teman-teman kita bisa bantu pilih salah satu. Maaf ya, nggak kelihatan ke sisi kirinya, ada lighting soalnya. Boleh dipilih salah satu? Terima kasih. Boleh disebutkan dulu perkenalan dan langsung aja sama coach atau saya.
Halo, saya Rizky dari olahbola.com. Hi Coach, welcome to Indonesia. It's a pleasure to have you here. My question is, there were reports that you turned down offers from Honduras and Jamaica, two teams ranked higher and one of them still in contention for the World Cup, and in the end, you choose Indonesia. What were the main reason behind your decision to join this national team instead of them? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Okay, go ahead Coach. What was your main reason for accepting this new role?
I think my career to date has been about building, working with a federation that has the passion, the vision to take a country to a place it's never been before. That was clear from everything I've read, heard from the people here, that this country is ready. It has no more excuses. We have the players, we have the ability, we have a professional league. It's now the time, the qualification habit. I've worked in CONCACAF, I've had experience there, but I honestly believe with a population of 280 million, 80–90% of people are football mad. They love their football. This is the place to be. And I want to be here when this country takes that step. I was there in Canada when we took our step. For the women and the men, I want to be here. This is one of the most exciting opportunities in world football. It's not about ranking. It's not about these teams had better players or you could do this at this World Cup. There is a big opportunity here in Indonesia to go somewhere no group of men or fans have been before, and that's to a FIFA World Cup. That's the mission.
Batuk. Di Komiks aja. Komiks dengan kandungan berkhasiat efektif membantu meredakan batuk dan menghangatkan tenggorokan.
Thank you, Coach. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya yang menurut saya cukup menarik ya, karena sebelum mengambil posisi baru sebagai pelatih kepala di Indonesia, ada kabarnya bahwa dia dapat tawaran dari negara-negara lain seperti Honduras dan Jamaica, di mana ada negara pun yang sudah kualifikasi untuk Piala Dunia. Alasannya kenapa dia memilih untuk kerja sama Indonesia, dan dia ingin membangun. Kata-kata kunci adalah membangun, karena dia ingin bekerja sama PSSI untuk membangun sesuatu di sini, karena menurut beliau Indonesia ini sudah siap. Kita memiliki pemain, kita memiliki abilitasnya, dan kita juga memiliki liga yang baik, di mana kita hanya butuh satu tahap lagi untuk mencapai tujuannya. Dia sudah pernah kerja sama CONCACAF juga, tapi ini menurut dia kesempatan yang lebih besar. Kita memiliki fan base paling besar di dunia, yaitu 280 juta lebih fans sepak bola, dan dia juga punya pengalaman di Kanada, bukan hanya di sisi putra, tapi di putri juga. Dua-duanya mengalami kesuksesan untuk bisa membangun program sepak bolanya. Ini bukan mengenai ranking dunia, ini bukan mengenai pemain atau timnya sendiri, tapi kesempatan. Jadi dia ingin membawa negara ini dan para fansnya untuk mengalami sesuatu yang tidak pernah dialami dalam sejarah Indonesia, yaitu kualifikasi untuk Piala Dunia. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya, Mbak. Next dari tengah boleh? Boleh dari, ya silakan langsung.
Baik, welcome to Indonesia, Coach John. My name is Aya from iNews TV. As you mentioned earlier, that Indonesia has one of the biggest football fans, and we are all very passionate about football, obviously, and they all want the best for our national team, of course. My question is, with the dynamic that happened recently to our national team, are you mentally ready to get pressure from lots of fans, especially if there will be a negative results in the future? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So yeah, there is pressure, obviously, considering what you mentioned earlier. We were close, but we did not succeed. So are you prepared to face this pressure, especially from fans who do have high expectations?
Yeah, I mean, that pressure is a privilege. You come to an organization, you lead a team, you carry the weight of a nation, and that weight can be a curse or it can be a gift. We'll definitely alchemize that into the gift for all of us. It will be a big opportunity that I will continue to share with the players, because I've lived the moment when a country stops and you qualify for the first time. I've lived that moment, so I understand it. So I can tell my players this pressure is a gift. We will listen to the fans. We will use their energy. And I would say to the fans, qualifying for a World Cup does not happen overnight. It took Canada 36 years to get there. For Indonesia, they took a big step, a huge step, recently. And we have to take the next step, and we will. So the commitment, the pressure is what will make us, what will be driving us to ensure that we deliver that moment for this country. That's why I came here. That opportunity is why I get out of bed every day.
Thank you, Coach. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya mengenai tekanan yang akan dihadapi oleh Coach Herdman ke depannya, karena ekspektasi fans mungkin udah cukup tinggi ya untuk timnas sepak bola, tapi beliau melihat tekanan ini sebagai sebuah privilege ya, di mana dia tidak melihat itu sebagai beban tapi ataupun kutukan, tapi justru sebuah berkah, karena ini adalah kesempatan untuk dia mengambil tekanan ini dan bisa dibagi antara pemain juga, karena ini yang bisa membuat mereka bisa termotivasi. Ingat ya, dia pernah mengalami ini juga, di mana ada sebuah negara yang selama 36 tahun belum kualifikasi untuk Piala Dunia, yaitu Kanada, dan itu tidak terjadi dengan satu malam saja. Ini adalah sebuah proses panjang yang terjadi, dan Indonesia sudah membuat langkah jauh sampai ke tahun lalu, hanya membutuh satu langkah lagi untuk sampai ke tahap berikutnya. Dan ini adalah sebuah komitmen yang harus diambil oleh beliau dan juga pemain-pemain timnas dan federasi untuk membuat dorongan untuk mereka bisa nyampe tujuan itu. Terima kasih Mbak atas pertanyaannya. Saya ingin geser ke sebelah kanan, boleh Mas yang angkat tangan duluan? Silakan langsung perkenalkan diri dulu, boleh langsung.
Saya bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Boleh.
Saya Adi dari bola.com. Coach, saya punya dua pertanyaan. Pertama, sebelum kualifikasi Piala Dunia 2030, Indonesia akan menghadapi dua turnamen besar terlebih dahulu, Piala AFF 2026, kemudian Piala Asia 2027. Kalau saya tidak salah, Coach ditargetkan untuk membawa timnas ke 8 besar Piala Asia 2027 dan mungkin juga juara di Piala AFF. Bagaimana Coach memaknai dua turnamen tersebut, terutama Piala AFF yang kita tahu skalanya adalah skala regional. Kemudian yang kedua, Coach juga akan melatih timnas U23. Nantinya dalam periode FIFA Matchday September-Oktober itu juga ada Asian Games 2026 di Jepang, dan timnas senior, timnas U23 akan main, kemudian slot FIFA Matchday juga mungkin akan dimainkan oleh timnas senior. Bagaimana Coach membagi waktu sebagai pelatih timnas senior dan U23, terutama ketika Asian Games nanti? Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Mas Adi atas pertanyaannya. I'll translate. There's two questions here. This is Adi from bola.com. First thing is, outside of qualification for World Cup for 2030, prior to that, there are already two tournaments upcoming. First, the AFF 2026 and the Piala Asia 2027. These are two tournaments that are obviously quite big in the region as well. So the first question is, how do you plan on preparing for those two upcoming tournaments prior to World Cup qualification? And the second part of the question is in regards to the under-23s that will likely be headed for the Asian Games this coming September. How will you be balancing your time and commitment between the two?
Yeah, I think if I answer the first question, I think in the most important thing around the tournaments is, for some of these players, they haven't had tournament experience, like true tournament experience. They've had World Cup qualification campaigns. So for some of the new diaspora players, the naturalized players, they will need to experience a tournament format. And that's an exciting experience, and a one that requires real expertise and discipline. So that'll be a new experience for them, and a one that I genuinely believe, particularly the AFC tournament, we can be competitive at, and with the talent pool that we have, with the experience we'll put around the team of tournament formats, we have a good opportunity to push our levels and create some history with our achievements. I think that's important. We have to be ready to be brave to say that this group is talented. This is a talented group of players now. And with the right support and leadership, you know, the AFC tournament, which I know how big that is, having participated in CONCACAF tournaments, it will be an exciting adventure for the players, but more importantly, a one where we can showcase where we are at now and take those next steps as a country. The tournament in July, August will be different. It's difficult to bring back your tier 1, tier 2 players for those events because they have their club commitments. It's outside of a FIFA window. So this is why it's important to have a wider pool of players. And I think, you know, the tournament in August, the Hyundai Cup, will be a good opportunity for me to understand the depth of the Indonesian player pool and to give opportunities to players that may not get the opportunity in March in the FIFA window or June the FIFA window, but to give opportunities to younger players but a wider group of Indonesian players. So I think it's the way the tournaments are structured for a new coach, it's perfect. You get a chance to use the wider pool, which is similar to what we did in CONCACAF with the Gold Cup. We never had access to Alphonso Davies or Jonathan David for those tournaments. You had to use local players and use your wider pool. And you learn, you get to see players in that situation. And with the under-23s in Canada, again, part of my role was to program direct the 20s, 23s. The bridge to the national team is so important to ensure that we have consistency in our cultural framework, our tactical framework, because while success at those levels are important for us to celebrate the strength of our young players, they are a pathway to the national team. And we have to find ways to accelerate their ability to arrive in the national team ready. So working closely with our U20, U23 coaching staff, it will be important we have consistency in elements of philosophy, as I said, the culture, framework, the tactical framework. And while there'll be differences, because every coach has their philosophy,
Of course.
there has to be similarities to ensure that players are ready. When they are called, they are ready to play. They're not thinking different system, different culture. They're ready to go because at international, the window is too short.
Perfect. I think that answers both the questions. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya mengenai turnamen yang akan mendatang, yaitu termasuk AFC dan Piala AFF juga. Dan ini menurut Coach Herdman adalah bagus untuk mendapatkan pengalaman di dalam sebuah turnamen, karena ada beberapa pemain diaspora kita pun yang mungkin kekurangan pengalaman di sebuah turnamen format. Dan ini membutuhkan pengalaman, ini membutuhkan expertise, dan Piala AFC ini penting untuk negara seperti Indonesia karena secara talenta kita sudah memiliki talenta yang cukup baik di region ini. Kita punya kesempatan besar untuk membuat sejarah karena ini juga turnamen yang menurut beliau ada kemiripan sama CONCACAF juga. Yang jelas mungkin untuk turnamen yang mendatang di bulan Agustus yang di luar jendela FIFA ini mereka akan mungkin kehilangan beberapa pemain tier 1 dan tier 2, tapi ini justru kesempatan baik untuk memberikan pengalaman untuk pemain muda, pemain lokal yang bisa dapat jam terbang untuk menambah pengalaman juga. Dan turnamen format ini juga kesempatan yang baik untuk pelatih baru, karena pelatih baru ini juga bisa mencoba mainkan pemain lokal dan lain-lain untuk bisa menyatukan dengan timnas utamanya. Dan mengenai pertanyaan menyambung ke program U23, dan menurut beliau program U20, U23 sebelum maju ke timnas senior ini sangat dibutuhkan sebuah framework yang konsisten, filosofi yang sama, di mana ini menjadi jembatan untuk membuat program yang konsisten agar pemain-pemain muda yang di level U20 sama 23 bisa melanjuti dengan pengalaman dan filosofi yang sama untuk bisa melanjuti tanpa banyak berubah untuk ke timnas senior juga. Jadi sekali lagi ini adalah kesempatan yang baik di tahun 2026 ini bisa membangun hal-hal tersebut. Thank you so much, Coach, for your time. Obviously, you're going to have plenty more time in the coming days and weeks to chat more with the media, but unfortunately, we are out of time. I do have some time. I would like to invite you up front for a photo for our media friends. Jadi untuk rekan-rekan media, dipersilakan untuk maju ke depan untuk mengambil gambar. Coach, if you please. Maybe on the top of the stage here, right in the center. If we could have you right here, just in front of the table. Dan untuk rekan-rekan media boleh mengambil posisi untuk sesi foto bersama. We'll start with a photo straight up center front in 3, 2, and 1. Maybe to the left.